Hello my friends, so I welcome you to this session, and in today's session I have channeled the beings known as Ra, who are from the 6th density consciousness. The reason why I channeled Ra today is because prior to channeling I just saw them in my dreams, and I felt like they wanted to answer the queries for this session. Okay, so this session actually is a very eye-opening session, and I think many of you will have your eyes open if you already are not aware of these things. And basically what the Ra Confederation or the Ra Collective they talked about is how we have been lied. Okay, they have been lying to us. Okay, the elites, the people in power, the companies, like Facebook, Instagram, social media companies, the companies that make games and that people play a lot, these companies, they are lying to us in the face, and what they are lying to us is explained in this session. And also the thing is, what the Ra Collective they have stated about this session is that I asked about, primarily about the flat earth thing. Okay, like many people had asked me about flat earth theory, and they wanted to know whether earth is flat or spherical, or or some other shape, right? And I was also very curious because I wanted to know the truth. And the thing is, they have explained about the flat earth theory as well in the session. And as always, before I start, remember to use your discernment, and if you don't like it, just leave it behind. I'm just here to share with you what I received during channeling. So the 3 questions which I asked is about, firstly, about the flat earth. And like, what is it, like, how can we really understand it? So they have explained it really nicely, and it made a whole lot of sense. Okay, this made a whole lot of sense. The other thing that they talked about is about the event of the looking glass and the June energy update, since we are in the month of June, and they have stated that there is going to be something coming in the month of June. And as per the looking glass artifact information, it's related with CERN laboratories, and also related with the big lie, that I told you about. It's about the things that, the big companies, the people in power, they don't want you to even think about it. Okay, they want you to stay unaware that these things exist. But today, you will find out how it works. And without much further ado, I just want to say a big thank you to all of you for liking the video, because it helps it to reach out to people who need it. So here is the session, my friends. Enjoy it.
I am Ra, and we greet you now in the love and the light of the One Infinite Creator. We communicate now from our space-time continuum location in the planet known as Venus, and we are now able to transmit our thought forms through the vibrations of this instrument. Since the alignments are in order, we shall now address the queries which are located inside the mind complex of this instrument. However, upon the start of this communication, transmission of vibratory sound complexes for the purpose of aiding the human collective consciousness in the path of finding union with the One Infinite Creator, we would like to warn each one to use their own discernment, thought forms to accept within their mind complex, using their inner heart, and to leave behind those thought forms which do not align with their belief systems at the present. The first query, which is in the mind space of this instrument, pertains to the concept as referred to by your people as the flat earth theory. In this regard, we as the Ra collective can notice that there have been separation of human consciousness belief systems based upon the flat earth theory or the spherical earth theory. Since we are from the dimension of sixth density, we are able to perceive all the types of existence of the earth planets, which means that we are also able to perceive a second dimension flat earth as well as a third dimension spherical earth. Therefore, we can suggest to the people of the earth planets that the validity of earth being flat or spherical depends upon the location of the viewpoint. If entities are in the second dimension and they perceive the earth to be flat, it will be valid for them. And if entities are in the third dimension and above, the appearance of earth to be spherical in the third dimension is valid, which means that entities in the fourth dimension may perceive earth to be sectors of time, separated into different time slots, as they can enter into any time frame they desire. This is the viewpoint of different entities on their dimensional location in experiential space-time. Therefore, we, as the Ra collective, would like to state that this is the viewpoint of various entities on their location. However, for a third density being who exists in operation in 3 dimensions, it would be impossible for such an entity to perceive a flat earth, and this would not be valid for the people of your earth planet. However, all of you are free to believe what you want to perceive in your mind space. We shall now address the other query placed by this instrument's mind complex, which pertains to the energy update for the month of June and the distortion known as the Looking Glass Artifact Event Number 3. Upon the perceptions of the people of your planets, there is variable nature of energy systems changing upon the earth. In the month of June, based upon the space-time and time-space location of around June 2022, we can perceive that the energies of Earth planet will slightly change towards the positive if the event known as the entry of the emotional hijack system is prevented. This is perceived from the Looking Glass artifact as we, the Ra Confederation, can perceive that the negative-oriented Orions and their fleets of subordinate beings, the reptilian entities along with the others, who are using their mind, body, and spirit complex as robotic entities known as the Greys. They are planning to operate a systemic entry or capture of the emotions of negativity using the planetary system's vibration and to amplify it using the CERN laboratories as known by your people's vibratory sound complex. These entities, they are planning to enter into the time-space of June 27th, wherein they will try to activate the CERN laboratories along with a mutation to its functioning, pertaining to the establishment of a emotional energy capture device, which they want to capture the negative emotions with. These entities, they plan to bring forth all negativity stored within the mind, body, and spirit complex of the human psyche, pertaining to fear, anger, hatred, jealousy, and all these emotional subsystems which lead to deregulation and imbalance in the bodily complex of a mind, body, and spirit, individual totality consciousness of the human collective. Their plan and purpose is to capture such emotions and then amplify it using an amplifier of emotional subsystems. For this purpose, they will try to mainly target those entities who may be considered as emotionally starved. Since upon the Earth planet there are a variety of entities who have incarnated, there are entities who are capable of realizing that the main purpose of their incarnation on the Earth planet is to learn to manipulate energy and emotion for the purpose of reality creation. Those who are unaware are mainly emotionally starving. These entities who are emotionally starving may be considered as those entities who do not know that emotions and energy can be created within the self without depending upon outside illusion complex environmental situations. In this regard, we, as the Raw Collective, would like to present an analogy for your mind complex to gather more information and understanding. Perceive the situations that upon the space-time of around 2022, there are two entities. One entity is able to use the processes of meditation and imagination complex and internal balancing of the chakras and the tuning of the chakras to create emotions and energy that it desires to experience without having to depend on the outside world. Consider a similar entity wherein it is dependent upon the environment for energy, subsystems, and fulfillment of emotional nature. There will be a difference in the perception of both these entities in the illusion complex. The first entity, who is capable of regulating emotions and generating energy work by using imagination, will be more like the creator and would be affecting the illusion complex in more ways than it will realize. This entity will become more and more balanced, therefore the catalysts of the illusion complex will have less effect on such a entity. Consider the second entity on facing a negative catalyst in the environment would create a negative emotion such as fear, anger, anxiety. Such an emotion can then be used by negatively oriented beings who feed on negativity, and they are trying to make the people of the Earth planet into their sub-slaves by targeting their emotional subsystem, since emotions are the driving factor which is able to control the mind, body, and spirit complex of the Earth planet. Each of you must also understand that emotional lessons are learned only in the Earth planet as well as in one other planet in the Andromeda galaxy. The learning of emotions is vitally important for entry into the density of love. Therefore, many souls are waiting to incarnate on the Earth planet to learn such a lesson of energy manipulation and learning how to handle and regulate their own emotional states of consciousness inside their mind, body, and spirit complex. Therefore, the best way for such entities to be stopped in their plans of the capture of emotional states of consciousness of negativity would be to firstly spread the message to the people of the Earth planet who are ready to assimilate and to apply such information, and use the system of tuning of the energy centers. The tuning of the energy centers can be performed by entering a state of relaxation, preferably a state of meditative mind, and then engulfing the meditative mind with your imaginal thought, which will then produce the emotions you desire of love, compassion, happiness, joy, and allowing the emotion to ride from the top of your imagination sector, which is the pineal gland, and to allow the emotion to ride into each energy center, striking it like a tuning fork. This will allow you to become balanced from top to bottom, and all of your energy centers will be fulfilled. This will lead to immense satisfaction and fulfillment if performed correctly by the people of your planet. We would recommend this instrument to perform this aspect, if desired, as an example, to be shown to the people of the Earth planet at this timeline. Therefore, we perceive that this instrument's body is facing discomfort. We deem it fit to leave for now, until we connect again. We'll leave you now in love and light of the one infinite creator, Adonai.
Okay, after watching the session, my friends, I hope you learned a lot of information. Like, I found this session to be really wonderful. I learned so much information, basically what they were talked about, the flat earth, right? The flat earth, what they said is, if we are in the second dimension, okay, if you are a 2D being, for example, if you are a 2D being, you will only be able to perceive 2 dimensions. For that kind of being, the earth will appear flat, okay? So we are in the third dimension, okay? We are in 3D right now, right? 3D reality. This is the reason why it appears to be 3D, okay? Now, to a 4th density being who is already in the 4th dimension, they said that it will appear like, and they are able to, watch different timelines of Earth. Like suppose, I am a 4th density, 4D being, I can see, like timelines of Earth, like time. We can just enter into any timeline I want. Like, I want to experience the year 3000, let's go. I want to experience another year, let's go, right? I can experience any time, right? So this is from the perspective of a 4D being, right? So just imagine what is possible from 5D, 6D, and other, there are many dimensions which is very impossible to describe using our language, I think. So I understood about the flat earth thing. So it's clear now that I have understood how it works. The other thing is about, the event in the looking glass. What they have seen is, they said around June 27th, the negative Orions, they are planning to use the help of some elites, all right? And they are trying to, use the CERN portal for the creation of a emotional harvesting machine. Now, what that means is, what they're trying to do is, they're trying to capture negative emotions and then amplify it in the planet, because they understand that, look, we humans, we operate on emotions, right? What normally happens is that, whatever emotional state we are at, right, we attract the same type of emotional beings, same type of situations. I have noticed that, right? And what they're trying to do is, they're trying to control us by, not allowing us the freedom, because many people, they don't know that they can use imagination, they can use meditation to generate emotions. So most people, I believe 95% of people are dependent on the outside world. They're waiting for something to happen to be happy. They're waiting for some other person to love them, to feel love, right? So what they have said is, we can choose to generate our own emotions, and that way we will be able to stop this event. So from now on, if you want to feel happiness, don't wait for something to happen. Just like close your eyes and woo, just feel happy, right? Just you can do it with your imagination, okay? And it's very simple. They have described a method which we can use, which is known as the tuning of our 7 energy centers. The best thing is when you imagine something in your pineal gland, you imagine over here, and then if you use the first person perspective, it can feel as if it is happening right now. That will generate emotions, and then the emotions can travel through all of the energy centers, like from here, here, down, right? So you'll feel this rush of energy. For example, I'll give you an example, okay, how it feels like. Wow. Woo! Nice. Yeah. So this is the kind of thing you can do, okay? So I just was able to cultivate happiness without depending on something outside, right? I just used my imagination in that moment. You can do the same thing, and the process is magically explained in this session. So I hope it helped you understand what's happening in our planet. And look, okay, the big companies, they want you to be a slave of the system. The system is they want you to depend on them for happiness. Most people, they use social media to attain happiness, validation, whatever, right? And what they're doing is they are, making us in essence, their slave, or emotionally harvesting us, right? So they are trying to do this, okay? The big companies, the elites, they don't want to think about this. But now you have the choice. Okay, you can do whatever you want. You can generate whatever emotions you want without depending on any of them. And the thing is, there are 2 types of people, they said. The first one is the emotionally deprived people who are depending on the outside world. And the other one is emotionally satisfied, who can choose and give them whatever emotion they want, because our body is an emotional filter. We already know this. So I just want to say big thank you to all of you for watching the video, and I want to say big thank you to all of you for supporting me on Patreon, and also want to say big thank you to Mr. Anil for typing out all of my transcripts sessions. So if you want to read the complete transcript of all the sessions on YouTube, you can download it. The link is on the description, and thanks to Mr. Anil for doing it for us, and I just want to say big thank you to all of you for sending requests for past life sessions on this email address. So I will help you out whenever I get free time. So with that being said, see you in the next session, my friends.